Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I've been thinking about putting this one into like the mix of what ifs I got going on for a actually very long time. Like this was one of the very first what ifs that I actually thought about. It's just I never really thought like how could I pull, Steven's gem into the universe of Naruto. But yeah, I guess let's just get into it. Let's see how it go. I kind of, got a general aspect. Anyway, let's go. So basically, how this is going to start out is everything up to Naruto's birth goes as canon. Once Naruto is born, everyone kind of notices the giant gem sitting in the middle of his stomach, basically, or where his belly button's supposed to be. And since technically speaking, it was never altered by, um, you know, pink diamond turning into rose quartz, it's an actual pink diamond in the middle of him. So, yeah, and yeah. Anyway, so everything else past that goes to canon. Obito, he comes into the room. He notes the gem in Naruto's stomach, but at this point in time, he's only concerned with the Nine Tails. So he still tries to kill Naruto, but instead of like Minato, like actively being able to get the like instead of actually trying to be able to get Naruto, since Obito was paying more attention to the gem in Naruto's like belly button, basically, you know, he kind of couldn't like Obito didn't use him as leverage because technically speaking, the Nine Tails was already finna come out, so it wouldn't have been that hard to just yeah. So he tried to, but it didn't necessarily turn out the way he did. The Nine Tails is released, but Naruto as a child, since he is technically a diamond, is a lot durable than most. So, during their fight at one point in time, Minato was able to like not drop Naruto, like get him out of Obito's hands, like in that little small scuffle that they had in the room. And during that time, he, was able to get him over to the little crib or whatever. But yeah, everything past that point goes to canon. The Nine Tails is released. They both die. The only difference is that when Naruto gets the Nine Tails sealed into him, and the fourth and everybody else kind of show up, Kushina and Minato kind of make it a point to like let them know, like keep an eye on that. We don't know what that is, right? And when like at first he like when Hiruzen heard them say it, he was like kind of confused because like he saw Naruto. Well, they could hear him, but they didn't see him at the time. But when they looked down, they saw it. Like this fucking gem, basically the size of his head, is in his fucking stomach. So at first, like they take him, they put him in like basically their version of protective custody. So he goes into like this whole like little he goes to like little labs or whatever, seeing if they can't remove it. But every time they go to remove it, Naruto as a child screams, and they can't risk Naruto dying or getting too mad because he has the Nine Tails in him at this point. So, they kind of just stop trying to do stuff with the gem and just kind of see like what's going to happen with it. But nothing really does. So they just end up putting like telling Naruto, hey, like put these bandages over your like waist. And for like the longest time, Naruto just thought everybody was putting bands over their waist because everybody just had gems in their fucking stomachs. Because nobody else really, they didn't want to tell Naruto, you might be the only person in existence with a diamond in your stomach. Anyway, yeah. So, like, throughout basically Naruto's small little life, I'm gonna say all the way up until he ran into Hinata, he was basically in somewhat type of like witness protection. Like, somebody had to be looking at, like, watching him in the sense of you know, making sure nobody else get a little too interested in why Naruto got wraps around his stomach. Anyway, so there's this one day he escapes from his guards or the people that's supposed to be watching him, and he's like in the woods or whatever, and he stumbles upon Hinata getting bullied by the people. Now at this point in time, Naruto does have some type of ninja training, but the Nine Tails is still interfering with him. Naruto is also more physically stronger than most people because, well, Steven was physically strong. You can't, no. Anyway, so basically when he tells them like stop or whatever, and they go to beat up on him, he forms like a bubble. Like this is his first instance of him using his powers. So like he forms a bubble around him and Hinata. But the only problem is kind of like what happened when he did it originally. Is him and Hinata are now stuck inside of said bubble, and um when Hinata's guard comes around to look for like Hinata, he sees her stuck inside this bubble with Naruto. But at this point in time, since Naruto has been in witness protection for so long, nobody, like everybody know that the Nine Tails is some kid, but don't nobody know who the Nine Tails is actually in, right? So when the dude got there, he basically like told the kids off, like, cause they couldn't get into the bubble and they was mad, but they was still there. So like he told the kids off, and he told Naruto, like Hinata basically was like, she was marveling at the bubble because they ain't never seen nothing like this before, right? So she touching it, shit, the little bubble, and like Naruto, he's confused. Like he didn't know what just happened. He just like he felt like he did want to get punched, basically. He came here to help somebody. He ain't coming here to get punched himself. Right? That's all Naruto really thought about at this present moment in time. Right? Anyway, so after that basically happens, they're like Hinata's bodyguard basically rolls them up to the fucking what is it called? I can't. The Hokage's office, right? And like as they're getting rolled up to the Hokage's office, at this point, almost every ninja that is like aware of Naruto's situation has alarm bells ringing throughout every inch of where there could be an alarm bell ringing that's silent enough for all of them to hear it, right? Because they're ninja, they can do that shit. Anyway, so yeah, they're basically like kind of type panicking, and when they get like to the entrance, Naruto like the bubble, they don't start fading or whatever, but it started getting weaker, like it's more pungy or whatever, because at this point in time Naruto don't feel like he needs to defend himself or anything. But yeah, basically like the Nine Tails is interfering, because although the gem is technically an entirely different source of energy and or power, it's light basically. The Nine Tails is still inside of him, and the seal was placed on his stomach. You see where I'm going with this? Anyway, yeah, basically, due to the Nine Tails' slight interference, not much, because like I said, it's a completely different source. He was starting to make the bubble slightly weaker, just enough, for eventually them to do something to break it open once they got them inside the Hokage's office. Took him into a courtroom and hit him with a dagger or some shit. Anyway, yeah, basically Hinata. But at this point in time, Naruto and Hinata then had a decent, not conversation, but getting to know each other. Who are you? My name's Hinata. At this point in time, you know, so like when after they get out the bubble, dude, like the bodyguard is like clearly mad. Like he's grateful for Naruto like saving her, but he mad because Naruto not a Hyuga, and for somebody that's not a Hyuga, you just spent a whole lot of time next to the Hyuga princess, basically, right? So he's upset, but he's upset in a way that is like you can't really be mad at that situation because it was a power that he didn't have any control over. But he basically goes back to the Hyuga compound, and as he's like telling this to Hinata's dad, all Hinata's thinking about is a pretty pink bubble. That's the only thing she can remember. That and the fact that Naruto stood up for her. You know, whole Hinata shit. Anyway, in the same breath, when they finally got a hold of Jiraiya, like they were looking for Jiraiya this entire time, because they felt like since he trained Minato and Minato's dead and he already knew that, he would probably want to know that Naruto got some weird shit going on here that he probably should want to come and look at, right? So basically, Jiraiya's off in this corner of the world and he sees this bird that is only from the hidden leaf, right? So he calls it down using a specific call and it swoops down or whatever. And he takes the note off of it and he sees it. Like he sees Naruto got some weird rock in the middle of his stomach, right? And, basically a whole bunch of other stuff. We've tried a whole bunch of stuff. We can't remove it. It's like literally a part of him. He's a lot more durable. You know, yeah, basically just a whole bunch of random shit. So Jiraiya basically made it a point to try to get back to the Leaf Village. And when I mean durable, they didn't necessarily throw a brick at him to see if he was durable. I'm like, over time, as he was growing up, they saw him get injured, and most injuries not really affect him in the same way they would affect a normal person. Like when Naruto would do slight sword training with the people that used to protect him, when they would go and accidentally, or he would accidentally use a blade and somewhat they thought he cut himself, he didn't. Like his, not his skin's like impervious or whatever, but not impervious, but like like breakable, but it's not. You'd have to be significantly stronger to break through Naruto's flesh. Anyway, yeah. So kind of like how Steven is. Like, you got to be extremely, you got to be somewhat stronger than Steven or at the same level of strength as Steven, or you could just beat him into a pulp. That's besides the point. I'm not bashing him. Y'all gotta, I love Steven Universe. That's like one of my favorite shows. That's one of the good ones. And me, my personal opinion, but the fan base, not with a 3 foot pole. Not touching that. Nowhere near it. Anyway, yeah. So Dry ends up rushing back to the Leaf Village, but it's gonna take him a while because, like I said, he was in the corner of the. He was basically like on a corner of the globe. So, like at this point in time, I'm gonna say, a few days pass. School start. Naruto end up sitting next to Sasuke again. Like, but nobody's really mad at the fact because the only two people that really know Naruto, the only like actual person that really know Naruto is Hinata. I said two. I just lied. It's only one. It's Hinata. So like when all of that whole give me the seat thing popped up, it was only because nobody knew who Naruto actually was, right? But Sasuke really didn't care because once again, he didn't even know who Naruto was. He was definitely not trying to have two, fangirls sit next to him. So he really wasn't tripping. Anyway, so as that like day is going on, Naruto like kind of looks out the window, and as he's looking out the window, he glance like he looking, and he see like this dude on the tree just staring back at him. Now this is like 4 days into like before, after Jiraiya got his message, so yeah, like and as he looking like the teacher like, hey Naruto, is this something you want to like share with the class? Like, why you looking outside? Because at this point, not only is him looking, y'all have to remember he was sitting next to Sasuke, so Sasuke looking too, because now he's interested in what the hell Naruto looking at. Like, what got you so interested to where you gotta look away, right? So at this point, the teacher go and he look out the window and he like, that's Jiraiya, right? And Naruto was like, see, I thought that's who that was, right? And at this point, now everybody kind of looking out the window, and Jiraiya was like, "Well, I kind of just gave myself up. Not like I was really hiding. Anyway, I'm gonna go." Like, and he basically just vanishes. And Naruto, like everybody in the class was like, "So what was the point?" And Jiraiya was only there to see if, like, Naruto would, actively not remember him, but I don't know. Like it did work. Like Naruto was the first person to notice Jiraiya before everybody else did. But that's because Naruto was done with his work and staring off into space. Anyway, yeah. So the class ends, and now everybody kind of looking at Naruto like, "How do you know Jiraiya? How do you know Jiraiya?" And Naruto's like, "I don't. I've just heard a whole bunch of stories, right?" And at this point in time, Naruto do know that his dad was a fourth Hokage, so he do technically know why and how he should know Jiraiya. But in the same breath, if he just started running around telling everybody that he was the fourth Hokage's son, eventually everybody would kind of connect the dots like, hey, that could be the Nine Tails, or that's the fourth Hokage's son. He could be some type of gifted. Now everybody either want to kill you or want you. Stuff like that. Typical ninja stuff. Anyway, yeah, so like they kind of like surrounding Naruto. Naruto not really like trying to answer nobody questions. So he like kind of leave, like he's leaving actively, like he's walking away, but everybody kind of like following behind him. And Sasuke is like, man, I know you faster than him. Like we all ninjas, but ain't nobody heard of you, right? That's the whole Sasuke suspicion right there. Like ain't nobody really heard of Naruto. He just appears at school on a random day. He saved Hinata. That's the only thing everybody really know, because news in the Hyuga clan travels fast when it comes to saving Hinata. So, like, that's all they really know. And Sasuke only know that because the Uchiha massacre, and some Hyuga work in the hospitals. I'm just saying that to build up storyline. I don't necessarily know if that's actually how that went. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically what happened. So Naruto basically, like, if you could keep up, you might actually, we could probably hit the training session after this. So Sasuke, I'm down. And at this point in time, Jiraiya has caught back up with them, but this time he's using more or less like his stealth shit. Like, he's not actively trying to get caught. He's like, he had already went to go talk to Hiruzen, and he'd already heard about the bubble situation. And yeah, at this point in time, he's just trying to really figure out, see what Naruto could do before he ends up snatching him, or doing, like, not snatching him, but seeing what he could do for himself. Like, fighting up against me, or can I train you to do this, or can you do that? Stuff like that. And yeah, that's basically, so that's what Jiraiya's thinking. But back to what Naruto and Sasuke about to do. So as everybody's asking them these questions, Naruto basically, like, he starts running. Now at this point in time, everybody's like ninja running. So like, as like, they're starting to drag a crowd of attention, and Sasuke is basically like right next to Naruto, so everybody kind of think they just chasing him, like Naruto and Sasuke just did something to make all the other kids mad or whatever. But no, they just really trying to ask Naruto how the fuck he know Jiraiya, or how he know Jiraiya was there, like, some stuff like that. And at this time, like, everybody kind of start noticing Naruto and Sasuke are actively getting further away. Like, they're running at top speeds, but Naruto and Sasuke are act like they're moving. So like, everybody kind of starts slowing down. Like, man, I'm not finna keep chasing these two. And like, Naruto and them basically just break a left, and everybody kind of just stopped running. Hinata wasn't with anybody at this point. Hinata literally just went home. Anyway, so yeah, Sasuke and Naruto ends up, going to uh like a little training ground or whatever, just like a little spot outside the village, like literally right outside the village on the wall basically. And they ain't doing nothing but throwing shuriken at each other, typical training shit. And uh yeah, that's about it. Anyway, let me know if y'all liked the video. If y'all did, drop a like. Enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi. Peace.